I don't know about you, but I think one of the coolest inventions of my lifetime anyway has to be the pliers-based multi-tool, which was invented by Tim Leatherman. They're just so handy for so many things. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at 5 of my favorite multi-tools. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me for another Sharp Saturday video where it's Saturday and we take a look at something sharp. Like I said, today that something sharp is going to be several something sharps. We're going to talk about multi-tools. I've been doing kind of these favorite videos, collection videos for the last several weeks, and people have asked me to do more, so I'm doing them. Like I said, I think a multi-tool is probably one of the coolest inventions of my lifetime, at least, you know, for a tool kind of guy thing. They're just so handy. There's so many uses for when you just need something quick done. They're certainly not going to take the place of actual real heavy-duty tools. They'll never replace my channel locks as a plumber, but they're really handy just for doing quick stuff that you can have with you, something you can have with you on your belt or in your pocket. So, well, I've got 5 of them here from 3 different manufacturers, and we're going to take a look at them right after this word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Hog Holsters. Hog Holsters are made in the USA in Arizona, and they are without a doubt the most comfortable concealable holster I've ever tested. You can save 10% on your order at Hog Holsters by using the coupon code Survival on Purpose, all one word. That's hogholsters.com. Thanks to Hog Holsters for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so we're going to start with the oldest of the multi-tools I have. This one is close to 25 years old. It's a Gerber. I bought this one at clearance, but believe it or not, I remember when I bought this at clearance at Target years ago. We used to go, my wife and I would go there, and I would be checking out the clearance aisle while she was doing something else and sporting goods and stuff. And this is the closest thing I can find now is a 600 Multi-Plier 600 in the $65 to $100 range with different options. But this one, what I really liked about it was it's one-handed opening, so I can get it out of my pouch and just open it one hand if I needed it, if I had something in my other hand. And you can see this one's had some use on it. It used to be red. Certainly not the most robust of all some of the pliers, but it's pretty. I used to sling it out, yeah. So the blades, you have to actually just hold it like this to open them up. It has a file that's not too filey, to be honest with you. It's just that's not the greatest thing in the world there. Then it has a little nail down here you can pull out if you get it with an awl. Has a here if I can get that one out. I think some of these you have to open up one blade to get to the other one, but a can opener, there we go. A small screwdriver with a bottle opener, and this is a really cool feature that I like and I use a lot. The Fiskars scissors. This is really handy to have a pair of scissors. You wouldn't think so, but it really is. And then on the other side, a partially serrated blade, a little Phillips head screwdriver, and this is really cool. This is a rim grit replaceable blade. So this is kind of a sort of carbide diamond studded or something like that, and basically you can change this blade out by popping that little spring out right there and just pulling it out, and you put another, it's just a jigsaw blade, so you can put that right in there and get a different jigsaw blade and replace it, which is really cool. Now, and they both of them lock, so you pull that lock down there. The new models that I've seen, the 600, any of them with a blade, none of them with a blade seem to have that rim grit replaceable saw blade. None of them have a knife blade. So I don't know. You have to look around for that. But this is the oldest one I've got, and this obviously you've seen it's had a lot of use. So that's number 1. Next, we're going to take a look at one that is completely different from this. This one is from Victorinox, the Swiss Army people. And this is the Swiss Tool Spirit XBS. Very simple, very closer in probably function to one of the original Leathermans. Doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles, but it's very, very well made. And one thing I always do to check is you can look at the needle nose on these things and how closely it mates together. There's no gap there. and there's no sway in the hinges. It doesn't wiggle back and forth. So I mean, you could pull a splinter out with that. That's kind of like my my criteria. And then it's got a little round crimper there, nice set of jaws with cutter's teeth as always. And then something else I like about it, when it's folded up, all the blades and tools are accessible from the outside without unfolding it. So let's see what we've got here. We've got a Victorinox, nice, about a 3-inch blade, 2.5-inch blade, very handy, maybe 2 inches, I don't know. But it's Victorinox quality, good stuff. Then this is a chisel, a little chisel on that side, and then a couple little different curved blades here. That would be pretty good for stripping wire, I think. I think that's what they're for. Then we have a full-size screwdriver with a bottle opener and another little wire bender or stripper. An awl with a little hook here that I'm not sure what's for. And a very, very functional saw. If you've seen any of the saws on the Victorinox Swiss Army knives, you know they absolutely work. And what I like is you can get all those things out without a lot of fiddling around, like you had to kind of do on the Gerber, some of them. It has a file that actually seems to work pretty well. Now, you're not gonna break out of prison with this, but you might with a lot of time. But it's a decent file. A longer Phillips head bit, which gives you a little more reach and a little more versatility. This is the awl, and it has a pair of scissors as well. Very handy there. So that's the Victorinox Swiss Tool Spirit XBS, and this one is around this nice sheath around $160. Super high quality, and again, everything locks on there. But wait, we're going to call this one 2A, and we'll go with a 2B because I have another Swiss tool here which I could not resist showing you, and it's essentially the same tool as this one. This one's just black and it's stainless steel. So the tool itself, no sense looking at it, it's the same. But what was really cool is this thing comes with this little ratchet set, which is just stinking cool. Like it's got this here, and you put this in here. You can put these different bits on it. And you can use whatever you're working on. You can get other bits, and it ratchets. And if you want to undo it, you turn it the other way. That's pretty cool. That lets you in. Has a little eyeglass screw in there. If I can get this thing back in there now, let's see. I know I can. And a corkscrew. And I just think that's really cool because it does give you some versatility in making it able to. Maybe it goes. Which way does it go? Yeah, it's good enough to be able to use these little tools in a different way and get some pretty cool stuff done. And then there you go. So this one, by the way, is around $210. It's really hard to find this one right now with that ratchet on it. There's some that are a little bit less. They don't really have a ratchet. They just got an angled kind of a socket holder wrench, but pretty cool there. So, and I'll put links again to all these where you can, not only where you can buy them, but also to the original videos I did on these. Now, the last three are all going to be Leathermans, which is fitting because I got to give Leatherman credit for kind of leading the way in the multi-tool game here. And the first one, it's very specialized, sort of specialized. This is the Leatherman Signal. I've said before, this is my favorite outdoor multi-tool. Because you might need pliers. I mean, pliers are good to have for repairing gear and doing all kinds of things, whatever you might need. But it's got a beener here you can hook it on, a carabiner you can hook it on your whatever you need to hook it on. It actually locks, so if that little lock right there keeps it from coming open accidentally. But what's really cool about it, it has a little, push that down, slide that back, a little sharpening stone right here, so kind of diamond coated sharpening stone that you can use to sharpen your implements and blades. And on the other side there's a ferro cerium rod, and I think that's cool, right? So it's all about the fire. And then on the outside here we've got a saw that's pretty sawy, and on the other side we've got a one-hand opening blade that is partially serrated and also pretty bladey. And then it locks with a little liner lock. If you open it up, On the inside, we've got a few little tools. Got both a Phillips head or flathead reversible. A can opener here, a nice edge on it, and finally you got to open some more of these to get to them, I think, but we'll get to it. I'll get to it. I know I will. Oh, okay. We got a little nick here, to open that up, and then an awl with a sewing eye in it, a needle eye. So that's pretty cool there. The ferrocerium rod has a. Let me see if I can figure out how to get that thing out of there. Oh yeah, okay. A little spring there. Pull that up. It's got not only a ferrocerium rod, but a little emergency whistle. That's just cool. I don't care what anybody says. That's just cool. Let's see if I can get it back in here now. I think we push that in first. I don't usually take this thing out, so just push that in first, and then just snap it down. There we go. So, and then it has replaceable cutting jaws, which is pretty cool. And this one, a little different, also has a pocket clip. So you can either hang it, or you can have a pocket clip on it. And it's also, you can use this for a hammer. So it will, you can hammer steaks or hammer stuff with it. Pretty cool. And then the pouch has a couple little doodads on the side. I've got a whistle in here, a Tops whistle, and I have a Exotec fire spark, emergency sparking tool here. And the price on this one right now on the old internet is about 140 bucks. So that's the Leatherman Signal. Moving along to the next Leatherman. It's another specialized tool. It's the MUT, which is really designed for working with AR-15s, stuff like that. And it's got a lot of firearms working tools in it, and of course a pair of pliers, replaceable cutters. Again, a carabiner here, kind of a little hammer bottom on it here that you can hammer on stuff if you need to. It's got a little cutting tool here for cutting string or tape or whatever you need, opening boxes or whatever you need to open with it. Very sharp. Cutting a seatbelt. It has a brass scraper, so you don't, for scraping carbon and stuff, you don't screw up your steel. It has a pin for poking out, a punch for poking out pins and pushing out pins and stuff. And it has a flat, small Phillips head and or flathead tool here. And that's it. I know I sound like a doofus doing this, but the reality is I keep this in my shooting bag, and pretty much what I use it for is the pliers and have a pin, something to push out pins if you need to. But it's got all sorts of capabilities. And it is around $320 right now on Amazon. And there's another version, which is an EOD version, which has some crimpers and stuff for people that blow stuff up. I don't blow stuff up, so I didn't get that one. But that's the MUT tool. Finally, drum roll. The last one we're going to look at is possibly the least expensive, and I think is probably the most robust classic. This is the Leatherman Super Tool 300. This is the big daddy, and it is super solid. I've had this one for going on at least 10 or 11 years. This one stays. This is my truck tool here, truck Leatherman, and it has replaceable jaws. Stainless steel. You can see again, look at the needle nose. They mesh. Very, very solid. Push locks, and you have to open it up to get to everything, but it has a very, very good blade on it. And then on this side, we got a full-size screwdriver, a bigger full-size screwdriver, and all with a eye in it, and a decent file. It's not the greatest file, but it's a decent file. And then also this ring pops out of here if you want to use it for a lanyard. Put it on a lanyard or whatever. You can keep the ring out, and it folds up just like this. You have a ring on it. You can just tie your dummy cord on it if you're smart enough to do that. And then the other side, we have a fully serrated blade for cutting rope or whatever. We have a here we go, get them all out. Can opener, a long Phillips head, a smaller, even smaller screwdriver, / you could probably use that for an awl, and saw blade, and that saw blade rocks. So this one is just super heavy duty, and I've had this one longer than all the other Leathermans. The only one I've had longer than this is the Gerber, and this one came with a leather pouch. You can see it's kind of beat up. So when Chuck Norris goes to a restaurant, the waiter tips him. Okay, well there you go. That was 5 with 1 thrown in of my favorite multi-tools I've had a chance to check out. And it would not be fair for me not to mention that, although we only had 1 Gerber in there, I think the Gerber center drive is a very, very excellent multi-tool. I've got one somewhere. Again, it's packed up. I know when this series is over, I'm gonna have to, once I get my my clutter decluttered from all my remodeling, I'm gonna have to make a forgotten blade videos and go over the ones I couldn't find. But anyway, even though this is probably not the best, and maybe even the least capable of all these, this is still probably one of my favorites. This thing is, I've had this going on 20-25 years now, and it's just absolutely very, very handy for the one-hand thing. And I know there are people going to say, well, it's not as robust as blah, 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 but look, I'm not doing main tasks with this. This is just something that you can have to use for all sorts of things, mostly to have a pair of needle nose pliers with a knife and, you know, other little things here. So anyway, I hope this video has been interesting and helpful. If you maybe didn't know about some of these tools, maybe they've given you some ideas. I really appreciate you watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.